I'm going to tell you a story today. When I was a little baby, my family was still living in Peru. Peru used to have a stray cat problem. So there would be stray cats coming in people's houses like rats, right? So many stray cats, they ate all the rats. And there were stray cats all over the neighborhood. They would attack people. One time when I was a baby, I was sitting at the table eating avena, what they call avena is oatmeal. And a stray cat, a big feral cat, jumped on the table and tried to swipe at me. And my grandma grabbed the feral cat and snapped his neck like a breadstick. Yo, my abuelita snapped the cat's neck like a breadstick. And they decided that they would get a dog. And my mom had a dog, but at the time, my mom and my dad, my mom was living elsewhere. Finally, when she moved in with my pop, she brought her dog. But we got a family dog. And it was a combination of a Rottweiler and a Doberman Pinscher. It was a big dog, and it had a little, like, hound or wolf in it because it looked like a big fucking werewolf. This thing was terrifying to people. You know, but I was the baby, so I could smack the dog on its nose and hang on the dog and all this shit. And so one day, the dog was just out in the yard. We went to sleep, all of us. And in the middle of the night, my father heard screaming. Oh my God, what the fuck? I don't know. Run downstairs and they look at the door, and the door has been jimmied open. Someone had put a crowbar in the door and opened the door, like trying to break into our house. And my dad saw blood all over the floor. There was blood on the wall. There was blood on the door. It was just splattered. It looked like a fucking horror movie. And my dad was like, what the hell is this? What's going on? And he saw all of a sudden in the corner these pair of eyes like this, just staring back at him, just a pair of eyes. And it was like, And then my dad saw the dog come forward, and he had something in his mouth, and he threw it towards my father. And it was these 3 fingers and this part of a man's hand that I'm holding up right now. The dog ripped off half a person's hand and had thrown it in the corner. And to reward the dog, my mom made a mistake. And, you know, they called him a hero, you know, and he was like a member of the family. They would put me on his back and put like a newspaper hat on my head. And one day, the dog went out with my uncle, and my uncle was attacked by just some other dogs in the street, like just a pack of wild dogs. And this dog killed 3 wild dogs in the street, defended my uncle. My uncle fought the rest of them off with like a stick or some shit. And in the fight, my dog lost an eye. He had an eye hanging out of his face. Crazy, right? And my grandma, when she saw the dog, took a razor and just snipped the dog's eye that was hanging out of his face. Snipped his eye off and closed it and held his mouth and sewed his eye shut, right? And then poured like whiskey on the eye. And the dog was screaming and crying. I never forget. A little kid, I heard him crying. And I could barely walk, but I tried to look down the stairs and see him. And, you know, they made an eye patch for him the next day. And from then on, they changed the dog's name. And they would call him Pirata, which means pirate in Spanish. So Grandma made a eye patch for the dog, and it went around his head. And about a week later, right? No, not even a week, a month. A month later, someone broke into our house again. But they didn't steal nothing. They came to the door. They took another crowbar. They jimmied the door. about 2 inches open. And they waited for the dog to come. And they shot him in the head with a .32 caliber pistol. And they killed my dog and my friend. And my dad said it had to be the same idiots who got their fucking hand ripped off. As if the dog started with you. No, you started with us when you tried to rob our family and steal from us and hurt the women in our house. And that dog didn't know you from Adam, and he ripped your fucking hand off because you fucking deserved it. So, of course, it's always free Palestine. It's always free Colombia. It's always love the people. But I want to say, I love you, Pirata. And to the one-handed man that's still out there, fuck you, homie. I love y'all. Have a nice day.